1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Jess C. Scott, a famed modern-day societal-focused author, once noted while reflecting on some of her past writings that people are sheep and TV is the shepherd. Mass media is affecting people's lives daily. There's no doubt about that. Some of this affecting is for a betterment, such as being able to connect instantly with anyone, anywhere, at any time, and it's brought a new level of aptitude of learning possibilities that people before had not even been aware of. However, not all mass media's effect on the population is for the better. Just a single example of this is that because we are so used to using comments and a certain number of likes on our social media platforms as a sort of social hierarchy placement, we look for that same sort of approval and acceptance from others all around us every day, constantly. And when we may not get it, that feeling of disapproval from our peers is not ever forgotten and can even become feared. By first acknowledging and understanding the powerful grasp media has on our everyday lives, we can use this information to not only become happier people, but significantly more aware of our social and real-life imbalances and pay more attention to living in the moment, rather than living through the virtual world that we seem to be constantly letting ourselves down in. I'm a part of the above referenced communities of today that is and has been affected by the illusion of mass media and how it is able to so intensely warp people's thoughts, lives, opinions, worldviews, etc. Because I indeed am a part of the problem as well as the affected area, for lack of a better term, I have also been a first-hand witness to seeing these mentioned effects take place. Mass media is an extremely powerful presence in our communities today and is negatively impacting it, as well as biasly shaping individuals and their thoughts, worldviews, ideas, opinions, etc., as well as societies as a whole. First, I will cover and introduce mass media, all of its form, and acknowledge its major presence in our everyday lives. Second, I will discuss, because it is so prevalent in our everyday lives, how it is able to take hold and significantly shape our own personal thoughts, opinions, ideas, worldviews. And finally, I will present data that supports how mass media's presence is indeed affecting its viewers' lives negatively, as well as in dishonest ways. Now that we have established how important an awareness about mass media and how it very well is affecting people just like you and me daily, having a deeper and more specific understanding can make a reversing or putting a stop to its effects not only significantly easier, but simpler as well. Mass media has many forms and it's a major presence in our everyday lives. Mentalhealth.net and is an extremely merited-based site dedicated to studying mental health as well as mental illnesses. They make sure to note that these sort of illnesses or health issues are very commonly formed because of the effects of mass media. Now I will show you a video of Lexi Civides speaking on how being a passive or active user of social media can affect people in different ways.
If you're actively engaging with people and making it clear that you're involved in the community, you don't feel as left out. Whereas on the other side, if you're only clearly passively engaging and you're just checking your news feed throughout the day periodically without involving other people, you can be left to feel lonely.
Interesting. So it's all about that connection and whether you're actively pursuing those kinds of connections with folks. All right, so Lexi, what...
Okay. The accredited site noted, this is mentalhealth.net, and specified all the forms of mass media. One specific form would be referred to as print media. Print media is represented specifically through forms of books, magazines, and newspapers. Other extremely notable forms of media would be that of television, video games, movies, music, cell phones, different kinds of softwares, and the internet. So now that we've covered mass media's many forms as well as their potential effects, let's move right along onto how mass media is able to take such a significant hold of us. Since these forms of mass media are so prevalent in our everyday lives, it is able to take a hold of and significantly shape our own personal thoughts, opinions, ideas, worldviews. TomorrowsWorld.org is a similarly majorly accredited site that is known for informing the everyday public on all sorts of issues. A specific study Tomorrow's World had done showed exactly how the media has been able to shape our lives and minds, because it has become such a gluttonous source of which everyday viewers go to seek immediate gratification through. Its pleasurable entertainment is why it has become so prevalent in our lives. We seek gratification through things such as movies, novels, TV shows, music, etc. But what we don't realize is that each of these sources are coming from writers and producers who are craving to reshape society along the lines of their preferences. This need to reshape our society's opinions, worldviews, and ideas leads to them pushing their own personal agendas and opinions in what seems to be a neutral, informative, as well as unbiased platform. However, that is not the case. Now, because we understand how the media is such a powerful grasp on us daily, that brings us to the facts of exactly where everyday viewers are being genuinely affected. Finally, data that supports how media's presence is indeed affecting its viewers' lives negatively as well as in dishonest ways. According to the highly attributed Forbes magazine, in 2012, the social media site Facebook gave 9 million of its users the opportunity to let their peers, colleagues, and friends know that they had voted in the current presidential election being held. In the voting's data to come from these users talking about their votes, it seemed that presidential candidate Obama overwhelmingly turned out the women voters by 60+%. Finding this interesting, Facebook did a little bit more digging and discovered that women are disproportionately more likely to share their videos and news on Facebook as opposed to men. Meaning, because men were equally represented in the pollings as women were, the statistic that proved women more likely to favor and vote of Obama was unreliable and misinforming Facebook's 1 million users and possibly pressuring other women to follow suit when in the voting boxes. As you can easily see, mass media is undeniably an extremely misleading and negative force to be reckoned with. This force has been proven today to very well be impacting individuals in our societies as a whole, or at the very least has now been proven to be capable of doing so. I first covered and introduced mass media, all of its forms, and acknowledged its major presence in our everyday lives. Then I discussed, because it is so prevalent in our everyday lives, how it is able to take a hold and significantly shape our personal thoughts and worldviews and opinions. Then, I finally presented the data that supports how mass media's presence is indeed affecting its viewers' lives negatively as well as in dishonest ways. By being able to understand and see for yourself the effect of mass media has on people, as well as your own daily lives, we can use this newfound information to become not only happier people, but significantly more aware of our social and real-life imbalances, and pay more attention to living in the moment rather than living through the virtual world that we seem to be relentlessly misinformed in, as well as constantly letting ourselves down in, which is, as we learned today, can lead to serious mental illnesses and health issues. I would like to leave you with a famed quote by Malcolm X. "The media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent, and that's power, because they control the minds of the masses. Don't be one of the masses."